are shining bright. And we're shining the light on us like no
I look
other.
ashy face.
No.
Neighborhood Planet. Our neighborhood, our world.
Good evening. Good evening. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Smart Black Woman TV with Vee and Charles. Hello, everyone.
We
were
back.
on vacation. Yes, we was, and we had a good time while we were. We took a break, and now we're in our second season of Smart Black Woman TV. Thank all of you for your kind remarks, your gifts, your communications with us, and also engaging and coming back and letting us know how you think about our show and how it made you feel. Charles and I have been working very hard to get Smart Black Woman TV up and running and with a lot of engagement, and we did pass the test for some of those who are willing to listen and engage and share their stories as well. Charles, we have some stories today, and we want to share it with everyone, right?
Right.
Yes. So, Charles, how was your day today?
My day's good. Had a good day. Just hanging out with my granny all day. We're doing renovations around the house, so we just been hanging out, really chilling.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Oh, okay. And what else you got on the platform for today?
We just relaxing for the rest of the night. It's after business hours, so I ain't working no more. But yeah, we just chilling for the rest of the evening. Maybe cook dinner. That's about it. Nothing major.
Right.
Yeah. What about
Same
you?
with me. Same with me. I'm just relaxing now. Have ended my day of work, and so many others have too. It's about 6 o'clock there. We're looking at 7 o'clock here Eastern time. The weather. How's the weather up there?
Today was a little bit warmer than
Nice.
yesterday. Yeah, so we had a little warm weather. When I landed in St. Louis, it was 20 degrees, so I was in for a rude awakening.
Right.
Um, but today it wasn't too bad. We're about in the 60s today.
Nice. Oh, so that
Yeah.
must have felt really good. Was the sun shining?
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Barely. It peaked out for a minute.
Everything's going pretty good down here too. We had a little chill in the air this morning. It probably was about 69 degrees when I headed out. It's a little cool, so it feels real good around this time. And then when the sun comes out, it didn't get too hot today. We still had a little coolness in the air, so it felt really good. This is the best time of year. I love it. March
Mm.
and November are my 2 months that I like, that are my favorite months, and I
Oh,
enjoy the weather. When it gets too hot, I don't like to go on the beaches and things like that because it's just too hot. Your feet are burning when you're walking, in the sand until you get in the water, of course, and that's just too much for me. But but we got a lot going on down here in South Florida. We have a situation right now where we have the protesters with Donald Trump. They're trying to indict him for some allegations, and look like, I don't know what the story is now. I know the attorney, what is it, prosecuting attorney is looking to arrest him for anything that he has done wrong. He's not going to hold back, because there's so many people that pardon people for their wrongdoing, and Donald Trump has gone far beyond, from what they say he's done. From what they say, because I'm not sure what actually he's done. I wasn't hanging out with him at the time, so these are all allegations,
right.
and he's indicted. 9 times out of 10, he's guilty for his crimes, and they said he will not be left out. They will follow the laws, and that's a good thing. That's one thing they need to stick to, following the laws when people do wrong. Um,
Do you think that with the indictment, it'll propel him into like presidency or winning the election in next year?
if it depends. Yeah, I think so. If it depends on the outcome of that indictment. If it comes out that he's guilty, it's I think a lot of the votes are going to go to DeSantis, and if and I don't
It's
know
the
if
same
they'll hold
person.
him back, huh?
It's the same person.
Right, just shorter.
Yeah, it's the same person.
Right. So so I'm really not sure, but I'm sure DeSantis is waiting and to find out. So he hasn't mentioned Trump's name at all. So he's staying away from saying Trump's name. I think he's afraid to even speak on him because so many people are behind him. And yes, and where he stands, he have to be very careful on what he say because he can lose a whole lot of those votes if he do speak negative about Trump.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the running mate being, I guess Biden will be running again. So we're going to be looking for that too, so people are going to be kind of on the edge with that. So we're going to see this
Right.
and how it turns out because Trump holds a lot of votes, and he's not even in office. So
Right. Right.
the run for presidency between he and DeSantis will be a show. I would like to see that show. I'm sure it's going to be full of laughter.
A shit show. That's what it's gonna be.
I don't think DeSantis will go on the end, the deep end with Trump. I think he'll be a little bit more respectful when it comes to what he say. Trump, on the other end, he just doesn't care. He has no filter. He's going to say how he feel. He's going to call him the little midget, short man, all of that, and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
And so so Trump is so it's just going to be a real good show. I'll be waiting on episode number 99999. Yeah, see how that'll turn out, but we'll see.
Right.
Just getting on. And what do you feel about it? Do you think that I know you feel it's going to be a shit show, but do you think that if Trump is not charged, of course he will run for the presidency. Mm-hmm. What do you think his chances are against DeSantis? Do you think Trump has lost some of his votes while he was outside of office?
It seems like he gained more supporters since he's been out of office. To me, yeah. Yes, it really does seem that way. I wish it didn't, but I kind of thought it was going to be one of those situations where you don't hear about him much, and so he kind of like fades away, and continues on with what his real estate journey or whatever he was doing. But it seems like it's not working that way.
No, he wants to be Yeah, he wants to be up on top. He wants to show himself every day. He loved that attention that he had as president, and he's looking to get that attention again.
I try not to give any attention towards it. I try my best, not to give any more attention towards it. I feel like the more you talk about it, the more you'll end up seeing them. So I try not to even bring it up.
Right, just turn all your TVs off.
I know, right?
No recording is there. They're not picking up. The phones pick up some things, but
don't open up Twitter.
Right, exactly. Don't open Twitter. Oh yeah, because it's going to be live and in effect.
It's all over Twitter. Yes.
Yes, so it's a lot going on right now. But I would like to see it. I'm sitting back to watch the show. It's just like waiting on one of the best fights ever. Muhammad Ali and Larry Holmes, and this just take me back to those exciting days when those two players were fighting. But here you're just looking at this show, and it has become comical to me, Congress now, because you can't take them serious anymore. Right,
they operating on views and likes.
Yeah, and that's the saddest thing about it, that you really can't take our government serious in the choices that they make. So you never know, you're just voting and you don't know what the outcome is after you even vote. You trust your vote, but you don't know what the outcome is. So we'll
Hmm.
see. But
We'll see.
moving on. Enough of him getting attention on our show.
You gave him 15 minutes, so I guess you gave him 15 minutes. So
He probably want to send me a check, right, Trump? You want to send me a check?
yeah, you're gonna be like those two black ladies at the at the
Effie
Trump
and
rally.
Nessie,
Right.
Steffi and Effie,
Frickin'
whatever.
frack. He won't even know, he ain't even know the damn frack name.
Yeah, he probably wouldn't
Crazy.
know. He'll probably call me their name, Effie or whatever their names were. I forgot.
Crazy. We don't
Yeah.
need to remember their name. Shit.
Yeah, but moving on to our show, we were talking about some things that we were going to discuss on the show. And Charles, I would like for you to spearhead that. Let's
My
go.
okay. Well, the main thing, we were talking about violence, and how crime is on the rise, and especially with under older. I'm not gonna say older men dating younger women. I'm not gonna say it like that, but I
Because
guess just
there are older women dating younger men too.
right. And I was gonna ask you about that too. If you still feel like that's inappropriate for uh, a young girl to date an older guy.
And you
So
saying younger as in what age?
okay, I think a young lady in her 20s has no business dating a guy in his 40s, late 40s, early 50s.
What?
And the reason being is because I just think that mentally you can't there's nothing that the two would have in common. It doesn't matter what the younger girl goes through in life. If she goes through a whole lot or whatever, it's still not an equal playing field. And I
Yeah,
feel the same way with men and women. It doesn't matter if it's a woman or a female or male.
yeah. I think so too. I think, at a certain age, I think a guy is too old to date. Even being 25, I remember when I was young, I dated a guy and he was 40. I didn't date him because, I didn't feel mentally that I felt mentally he was too old for me. So I could not date him. I just, I like going out to eat with him, and that was it. He couldn't. I didn't want. Don't hold my hand. Don't hold my hand.
Right.
Because it was just such an embarrassment to me. Even though I had a girlfriend that would date older guys, she would call him her sugar daddy. Girl, you need to get you a sugar
Hmm.
daddy. And that's something young girls tend to do. Get you a sugar daddy. Get you an older guy. They'll take care of you. The older guys know how to take care of you, and those are things that youngsters do listen to, thinking that an older guy would take care of them. But some of those older guys are a little aggressive. Although the guy that I was seeing, I didn't see him long, probably a couple of weeks. So you really don't call that dating. A couple of weeks, because I came to the reality that you're just too old for me. Because there were
Hmm.
things he wanted. He wanted to hold my hand. He wanted to take me out. He wanted to take me out of town, things like that. He wanted to do a lot of things with me, but I felt I was too young for him. He was close to my parents' age. So, he was just too. I told him, you'll never meet my parents. No, you're their age.
Right. My granddaddy would not have that. And that's one thing that we don't have in society these days, and where's the pawpaw to be like, okay, enough is enough. And this is kind of like ridiculous. I know if I had a young daughter, I wouldn't want her dating anyone close to my age. That would
Right.
be that's inappropriate, number one. And number two, it seems like in a lot of those situations, the younger person ends up being manipulated the entire time, and
Mhm.
at the end ends up losing out on something, whether it's in their life or something. You're missing out on something. And I don't know, but I've seen younger guys date older women, and dudes get props for that. We get props for dating a cougar. And
Mhm.
we, right, we even have a name for the woman. It's a cougar. It's a cool. it's
Yes,
a
it's a
cool thing.
And
But
you know, but from a woman's standpoint, a cougar, you know, where did that name come from? You know, that wouldn't sit well with me. You know, if I was in that situation or that mindset, dating somebody young, and he was like, "Yeah, I got my cougar." You know, no, you're not gonna call me a cougar.
but mom, you said it. You said it. When you have an older person, they're a lot more aggressive. So
Mhm.
cougars are aggressive. That's where you get y'all jump down on some when cougars want something, they just jump down and get it. You know, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, but also, and then in saying that, you know, the young ladies, you know, when you tend to want to date these older guys, you got to understand some of these guys are a little aggressive, you know, and
Yeah,
they're doing things in a very manly way, and men have a lot of strength. So therefore, you being this tender young lady, you know, he's stronger, he's heavier, everything, you know, when it comes to an older guy. Now,
smarter.
when a young guy is dating a woman, the woman is still soft, you know, and she's still, you know, some of them, you know, there are hard women out there, but
A
not these
whole lot of them.
right. These
Get your
young guys,
ass whooped.
and these guys aren't, you know, these young guys, they like a pretty woman, you know, they find those ones that. Oh, that pretty woman, that thin one, that soft looking one that they want to caress with. And they don't too much go with the you know, the bigger women that are much heavier, you know, heavier for them. They're looking for someone that's pretty, ladylike, maybe with heels, with a lot of money, you know, so on and so forth. And this is what those young guys look for. In a girl, she's looking for someone to take care of her, but she have to understand this guy is a hard guy, and he's much older. You know, just like I was saying, I was a young girl, and the guy was holding my hand and just feeling his heavy hand, you know, in mine. It was just so much that I didn't connect with, because he was an older guy. That mentally I could not date him because he was older. He everything was over. His conversations were older. Everything. Yeah. Oh, I would just say, "Can you fix my car?" And he fixed the whole car. He fixed the whole car, you know. And it was like, you know, me being a young girl, oh, he did it for me, but it wasn't you know, it was just wasn't that appealing to me, you know, as a young girl. So I don't understand why, you know, young ladies would choose people that are much older than them. And then if you get with a guy and he's an older guy, and he's an aggressive, and he's possessive, and then you have trouble on your hands, a situation that now you're afraid of him. You're not talking back at him, and you're not, because he's older, because now that connection kicks in, where you understanding that he's an older guy. I can't just curse him out like I curse out
Right.
guy to my at my own age.
Jaquan. Right.
Yeah, yeah. So you're not gonna curse
Mm-hmm.
this guy out because he might slap you, you know, because he's a
Craig will slap the shit out of you. Right.
right. So yeah, so those are things that can be dangerous for young ladies.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, you know, unfortunately, parents, you know, we have to step in when a guy is too old for our youngsters to be dating. And men, you know, step to these guys. You know, you find out that your daughter is dating an older guy. You want to go and you want to meet the person. You want to find
Mm-hmm.
out, you know, man, no, go on your way. Find someone your age, someone that's your age.
What you want
So,
with my baby? What you want with my baby? You know,
right. No,
that's a
he already
legitimate
knows what
question
he
for real.
wants. The man already knows what he wants with that baby.
There's a
But
situation where Michael Jordan's son is married, about to. I'm not sure if he's engaged. I think he's engaged with Scottie Pippen's ex-wife, and so there's a huge age gap, and they were talking about whether or not if it's inappropriate or not,
mhm,
and that's almost a hard one. When you have an adult child, you really can't tell your child what to do anymore. They're not a kid, you know. So
right.
what can you do to kind of make sure that you kind of keep a hold of that as much as you can. Really, it's almost like you can't protect your child at these days and age. All you can do is your homework and know who you're dealing with. And I think it doesn't even matter what a person's age is. You kind of want to know who you're dealing with anyway. I think we're moving to a society where everything's just better verified. Your social media accounts are better verified. A phone call that comes through the phone, if that's a verified call, you know who it is, you feel comfortable to talk to them. And I just think that society is moving over to, you just want to know that what you see in front of you is what it is. You want what you want. Is this what I'm really going to get, or am I going to get something else? And just doing your homework, and it can save you a lot of heartache. And I know from experience, if I would have done maybe checked for a rap sheet, I would have protected myself from some bull crap. You check and see who you're dealing with. That's really important.
Right.
That's me.
Exactly, and that's where we're going today. We have to protect yourself from everything.
Everything.
There was a story on the news just yesterday, and they were talking about the identification of people. People are calling and getting online, but they're showing the face of different people, like actors or just a random person. They would show my face, but it'll be a total different person, and you see the movements and the hands, and everything is moving like as though you're talking through me. So those are dangerous things that are going on with the technology nowadays. You can just pretend to be someone else, and you have to be very careful, especially young ladies. You're out here, you're trying to date online. You really have to protect yourself in meeting people now. And even if you meet a person in the grocery store and you're gonna meet them again, go along with your friend. Don't go by yourself. Try to have someone accompany you so that you're feeling a little bit more safe, or safe in that environment. And it's sad that we've come to that, but we have to all protect ourselves in everything we do, especially when you're dealing online dating and communicating with a person online, and you're thinking you're seeing that person, but that's not the person you're really talking to. That's the most craziest thing I get out of it all, that you can take a person's face and identity, a full facial feature, and speak through that person on the internet. You don't know who you're talking to.
Right. And with AI, all that new AI, those AI programs, they can pretty much just choose whoever face they want and type in whatever you want them to say, and it'll use that person's voice and everything. You don't even have to have a real person behind it. It's just all computer generated at this point,
Yeah, so that could be very dangerous. So we have to be very careful out here and nowadays, and what you're doing, who you're communicating with, who you're making your friends, young men and young women, who you're befriending. You don't know what's behind that person. Start looking them up, check their names. So let me see your driver's license. Are we the same age? Just say something. Are we the same age? When I met my husband, we met, driving down the road at a Barnes and Noble, and at that Barnes and Noble, we came in contact with each other, and I guess he saw my driver's license was saying April, and he said to me, "Is your birthday April 1st?" And it kind of freaked me out. I thought he was some kind of psychic or something, but it was his birthday also. And I said, "Let me see your driver's license." As easy as that was, he pulled his driver's license out and he showed me his driver's license. Something as simple as that people will do for you if there is nothing that's criminal behind it. You'll find that the person is willing to share any information that you will ask for. When you get a person that's rejecting that, then you got to be somewhat of concern. Why are you not showing me your driver's license? Why are you not, why is it that, it took that, communication, you drew back. No, I'm not just showing you my driver's license.
Right.
Those are concerning things you have to look at. So,
right. Like if you've been dating somebody for a year and a half and they never got plates on their car, you might want to ask them why you ain't never got the plates on his car. Ask questions. Sorry.
But you know, that's right. That's
For real,
right.
I'm
You
for
want
real.
to ask questions. But you know what?
Mm-hmm.
In the same, I know someone that has gone through that and asked the question and knew it and drove the car. You wonder now why would he drive?
Drive the car and then get pulled over and surprised ain't no insurance on it. What the hell? Well, it sounds like they ain't have no driver's license either, whoever that person was. Whoever the hell that is you talking about.
Yeah, or have a temp tag on for 3 years. Who does that? You know, but you guys, you got to be careful out here because so much is going on. So
stay prayed up, y'all. For real.
Yeah, stay prayed up and stay, keep your head up. You know, if you know the person is not right and they're doing something out of normal circumstances, leave that alone. It's best to walk away. I don't care how fine he's showing you shiny shoes. Sometimes those shoes were not, he didn't get those shoes in a good way. You know, he stole the shoes. Okay. Or he goes in the store and he knows someone that's stealing out of the store. If you are entertaining a person that's stealing out of the store, it's time for you to leave that person alone. Because sooner or later, them stealing out of the store, they're going to steal from you.
Right. So, and that's one lesson I just learned, you know, is walking away at the right time. You know, I think it's the right time to walk away. You can leave too early and you can leave too soon and you can leave too late. You know what I'm saying? And I really don't like the outcome when you leave too late. So making a decision right then and there to leave out of someone's life and just to cleanse your life of like negativity is really important, you know. And even with people that you know, if you can go around someone that you knew for a long time and they may not be who they were. We're all aging every day and people change, you know. And it's okay if somebody used to be a good friend of yours and now you don't F with that B. You know what I'm saying? That's how hey. Hey, I just learned that lesson. I'm telling you, now I don't F with that B for real.
And that's how you have to, I mean, and that's life. You know, people understand. Don't get so heartbroken because you're not getting phone calls. You don't have any friends. Don't get so heartbroken because you know what? As soon as you get that one friend can be so full of drama and chaos. When that friend finish you, you're not going to want any friends anymore.
Right.
It'll teach you a good lesson. So before you have to go through those lessons, look at the picture. Find out about a person. Even with girlfriends, women hanging with other women, starting jobs and meeting people. You can't always trust those people because they come to work every day and they're sitting right next to you. You can't trust everybody. Take your time in choosing friends for yourself. Don't allow people to choose you. The worst thing in the world you can do is allow a person to choose you as their friend. And you have no idea what that person is all about, but you take them in because you're looking for a friend too. So these are things we have to be more concerned about in our paths in life. We're going to move along and have a station identification. We thank each and every one of you who have come to see our videos and to engage with us. We are here every Wednesday, 7 p.m. We'll be right back with you. Stay tuned. Bye.
Turn up. Run the track.
Give it to him, Daddy.
So we're right back, and we were just talking about people and choosing friends and not allowing friends to choose you. These are the communications that we go through, and dating, and these are just following up and continuing on with our previous show, talking about choosing friends and also dating new people. Sometimes dating new people can be a nuisance, or sometimes it can make you so uncomfortable. Depends on who that person is. If you're a person that do not speak up and care so much about others' feelings, it's best you take relationships very slow. When I say very slow, I mean 6 months down the line, you still haven't made that decision as to if that's the person that you really want to make a friend, a boyfriend, girlfriend with. Reason I say that is because there are so many people on hard times right now. They're getting in relationships to have a place to live. They're getting in relationships so that people can help them to build their lives sometimes. Because
That's a homeless sexual. A homeless sexual. They have a name for them.
A homeless sexual. Okay. Okay. Well, Charles put me up on game, because I'm not all the way up on game. Because there are some slang out there that I don't know much about because I'm older, the older adult, and I'm placed in that elder side right now. So
Mama, you young.
These new terminologies, street terms that are out there that I don't know about. So we call them homeless sexuals, Charles.
Mom, that's a joke. Okay. Sorry.
So that was a good name for them. Yes, homeless sexuals. And I know there are homeless sexuals out there. And we're going to name them homosexuals. That was a good name. And it's because people who get in relationships and they do have, they have sex with people and they're homeless. They're living with someone else, and looking for a home. I had a friend that started online dating, and the guy was kind of homeless sexual, but he claimed himself as religious. And he would send her big Bible verses, and tell her he wanted her to go to church with him. So he tried to win her heart, and but in the conversation of only a couple of weeks of communication over the phone, he started to say, "You and I can live together, and I would no longer have to live with my roommate." And this guy is 55 years old, and he had this roommate. Well, it looks like he was a homeless sexual in what you call it, Charles.
Period.
Yeah. So she kind of had to let him go on and keep on walking. And that's what I say. Pay attention to people in your conversations that you're having, with these new people. If they say that
unless you're that desperate,
job, meet them at lunch. Pick them up from the job. Walk in the company. Ask for them.
Right, because these days I just can't see anyone moving someone in after 2 or 3 weeks of knowing them.
Mm-hmm.
People who do stuff like that these days, I just look at them like, what in the hell is wrong with you? Something wrong with both of y'all, you know?
Right. And then move
Hmm.
the big moving truck in too.
That's crazy.
And unload wherever he was, just unload all the furniture and move it right on up in your place. And that's kind of weird there. And people are doing this. You know, life is moving so fast for people that they're making
Hmm.
decisions and later
Right,
on paying for it. You know, that's the sad thing about it. They pay for it later. And
right.
when they know that the decisions they're making are failing decisions, but tend to make them. So be careful. Be careful.
Yep.
We just all have to try to help each other and talk to each other. And if you have friends that are out there, try to talk to them. Be that that second person on their shoulder to talk to
Mm-hmm.
them and say, "Are you crazy?"
Mm.
Yeah.
That's not very nice, but I get what my folks are grown these days. When I
Yeah.
tell you I will not get in the middle of nobody's relationship if I can see this shit going downhill and I'ma just act like it's all peaches and cream. For real. I will not get in the middle of anyone's relationship. You'll end up being the one getting kicked out at the end while the boyfriend and the roach is still in the house. So no. So I just
Well,
stay out of
if it's a
people's
friend,
relationship.
like me, I have friends that I talk to, close friends that I talk to that are going through the dating life. And I do talk to, I do, I mean, she tend to call me and ask me for advice, whether she take the advice or not. Later on, you wait it off and things that tend to happen, And I said, that's why. That's why I said what I said.
Right.
Yeah, because if they're your close friend, you do want them.
Mhm.
You don't want them to make those mistakes because you're gonna hear
Yeah.
it later. Might as well hear it now, and get through it. And maybe it'll make them much stronger because you discussed it and you talked about it along the way.
Right. I understand that,
Hmm.
but I'm a mind my business.
Right.
Mom, what do you think about? I really haven't been. I don't watch the news too often. I don't get into that. But
Hmm.
I've been reading about the bank bailouts. That's crazy. How all these banks need to be bailed out again.
I To me, it's taking on situations where it's too big for them and people are greedy now and
Mhm.
everybody wants to be rich, it
Right.
seems. Everybody wants the big life and want to the big boat and the big house and the big conversations, and they risk everybody's money, even
Mm.
yours. And this is what the banks have done. The government bailing them out, I don't think it's fair that the government should bail them out. I think that whatever monies that are there, yeah, the bank should, I mean, the government should step in when a person has all their money in a bank account, in a bank, and they lose it all because the bank foolishly, lost all of their money. I think there should be insurance behind them where it catch, your money is not lost. And we got Suave, is that?
He said, "Good evening. Long day."
Yes, yeah. For me too, Suave. Thank you.
No, it's been a short day.
It's been a
It's been
short
a
day for
short
you.
day. Give me
It's
some more. Give me some more action. I ain't had enough yet.
been... Yeah, right. So yeah, so I don't have much to say about the banks. I mean, the government bailing out banks. Um, I think the government should bail out people more so than the banks,
Right.
and that's where they're bailing out the banks because of the people. And I think that's
Hmm.
why they're bailing out the banks out so that people won't lose their money. So the focus is more on the people more so than the bank when you look at it that way. But I think the government should step in if they're going to be bailing out people. I think there should be funding to bail out people who have lost their homes because
Hmm.
of the inflation that has rise, that's on a rise. I think the government should step into businesses and force them to pay people more money when inflation goes up. Your bank account should go up as well, because it's sad when your income stays low, but their inflation has risen so high that now your rent is more than what you were actually making. And I think there were a lot of teachers going through that right now,
Mm.
where their payroll could not cover them for a year's rent. It was like the teachers were making like 31,000 a year, and their rent, if they paid it at that high cost, was 33,000 a year. So they
Wow.
weren't even able to afford to pay rent, let alone eat, the gas, the lights, and everything else that comes with having a home. It's
All
very
just to all to teach some badass kids that want to fight them when they get to work. That's crazy.
right, exactly.
Mm.
And the kids, the kids that are off the chain right now, and the parents really need to step in when it comes to these kids. I don't know what's going on with these kids. Parents just stop parenting, it looks like to me. And they really need to get,
Saliba,
yeah,
the bailout has to happen. Not many
yeah.
businesses around the world would have likely to shut down due to the
Hmm.
lack of
Due to
credit.
the lack of
Okay.
credit, creating global depression. The large scale unemployment could have led to riots or another Great Depression. Yes, yes, it could. Yes, a huge depression. And
Does that mean that we're in a recession? You know, last time the banks had to be bailed out, we were in a full blown recession back in 2008. Are we headed to that same place? You know, that
of
makes us
course we
feel.
are. Of course, you could see it. I mean, you can see it. We're there now. Look at how everything is, so costly. Look at your food that you're eating now. It's so costly, and the gas, prices, and even, homes and interest rates. It's ridiculous right now. People are really having a hard time in some of these homes. And, what people need to do is start forcing these companies, or talking to managers when you're working year and year after year. Yeah, you can claim to be with that company for 10, 15, 20 years, but if you're not making a darn thing and they're not giving you a raise or moving you along with inflation, then it's just, what are you doing? What are you doing, for yourself? You have to speak up and tell them, look, I this company is willing to pay me to do this same job, that I'm performing here. I've been here so many years. Can I get a raise? A raise is not 50 cents or $1 or $2. It's
Yeah.
percentage. It's percentage based, and you have to look at where it is at home that you need that income, and you need to speak up.
Right. I heard one of the best states to work in as a teacher is New York City. They get paid
And which
in New
state
York
they choose
City.
to work in.
Hmm.
Yes, the low salaries. Well, that was New York that was on the news, wasn't it?
Oh, I don't know.
About the low salaries, Taliba. Yeah, it does depend on it. And then here in Florida, down here in South Florida, there is such a huge shortage of teachers. It's really sad. It's just sad that we're going through that. But the teachers are having such a hard time with these kids. A lot of the teachers don't want to work anymore.
And it
And
seems like the government is going to have to step in when it comes to making sure that teachers are being compensated the way that they should, or compensated fairly, because everybody can tell, everyone, hey, I don't even have kids and I feel for them. I was once a child in school, so I raised hell. So I know that
oh, you
that is a,
did?
yeah, I
Oh,
got, nah, you ain't know. I got away
look
with it.
like
I got
me.
away
I
with it.
sound like to me. I owe him some past ass whoopings, y'all. What you say,
That
New
New
York?
York pays 10 G's approximately if you have 30 credits above your BA. Number two, the years of service and your service. So
The Christmas Bowl bill.
your
Really?
schooling and your experience is based on that.
Wow. Well,
Well,
what about the bad kids? Hey, if you're in a school that's performing with children, you have to kind of tuck your gun in your pants.
right. Would you hit these kids back? My mama, I know you would try to whoop their ass.
Whee!
Like
Speaking
the
of
little girl in Walmart. That little girl in
speaking
Walmart
on whoop their ass, that little girl in Walmart.
throwing them damn plants. Woo!
Ooh, let me keep it for one day. One day. One day is all she needs.
But
Ooh.
they say you can't whoop kids. A lot of parents are afraid to whoop their children. I met this one, a friend of mine. She was saying that she's afraid to whoop her kid because she's afraid that he would go and call 911 and have her arrested. So you have parents afraid of their own damn kids.
I wouldn't be afraid of my kids. I tell you what, my girlfriend and I had that talk the other day. You know what she said? Chicago have boot camps for kids.
Mm.
I would tell if Charles was bad and I knew it and I couldn't control him, oh, he's going to boot camp. Bye. You let them take care of
I
you
wasn't going
because
there.
I'm not doing a good job.
My mama wouldn't have sent me there, yeah.
Oh, I sent him to jail for going in for going in Kmart. I would have sent.
Taliba is you don't have to tell people the it was Target, by the way. It wasn't Kmart.
It was Kmart.
Don't tell nobody the Target story. I know it was Target. You whooped
It was
my ass so
Kmart,
bad.
Charles.
No, you whooped my ass so bad. You popped me for each letter in Target. So you made me recite each letter by letter, and I had a pop for each one. So I know it was Target. It wasn't Kmart.
Maryland 93,000 to Hawaii, 97,000 to New York, 89,000 to California, 83,000. And yeah, and then the mortgage for all of those states is
High
high
as
as
hell.
hell.
Right.
So the equivalent of making that salary
It's the same.
it's an average salary right now.
Right. It's still the same thing.
Right now, it's an average salary. Before, it was probably last year was good. But when those rents went up the way they went, and I don't know if the rent went up in home and interest rates went up where you are, if they have gone up the way they've gone up down here in South Florida, oh, that's just average. That's living average.
Right.
You're not above average with that.
So it still equates to the same thing, you know?
Mm-hmm. Very expensive to live in those states.
So bottom line, the government needs to step in and increase the wages for teachers. The government does. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Pay these teachers more. Seriously.
Yes. Yes. Pay these teachers more. You're absolutely right. But yeah, if you're having problems, parents, with your children and you don't want to whip them or you're afraid of them, any parent that's afraid of their children, they really need to turn the children in.
Ooh. They'll turn themselves in because I ain't no way in hell I'd be scared of my own damn child. I'd kick your ass down the
People
steps
are.
so
You have to
fast.
understand. Women aren't that strong and aggressive. And you got these little young boys, only 13 years old, weighing 200 pounds, 300 pounds, and then they're rowdy. They're living in these rough neighborhoods. They're picking up all these bad behaviors. I wouldn't be putting up with all of that. That's a lot to deal with. So I would have a good talk with him because he want to be grown. I would talk to him. This is fine and good, but you got to go. You got to go. You can't stay with me. You
Right,
can't
that
stay
little
with
girl in
me.
Walmart, I would have had to send her off somewhere, you know.
Yeah, her little bit. A little girl like
Because
that.
whooping kids is not
I
always
wouldn't
the
send her
answer, you know.
nowhere. I send her right in her bedroom. Go on, and I'll be in there in a minute. I'll send her to the bedroom. Her? Yeah, she going to the bedroom. Yeah, I have my little funds to bail me out.
You got your bail money.
Got my bail money because today she would learn. But you know what? Thanks. You know what? We have to end our show, unfortunately, on that note. And we have a special guest that would like to play a very special song for each
Oh,
and every one of our listeners. So we want to bring her in. And can she please start the music?
one moment. She's coming.
Okay.
She was taking her nappy nap. 1 second.
Nap. She was supposed to be waiting to play.
I'm just gonna play. Go. There you go.
So we're going to close the show with a very special song, and she is here to play it for us. Thank you very much for playing this song for Smart Black Woman TV this Wednesday.
Y'all hear?
Good evening, all listeners out there on this beautiful Tuesday evening here in St. Louis, Missouri. Welcome, welcome. I'm Dorothy Johnson, always sitting here on my piano, trying to make a positive image to everyone out there. Let's keep the love going and be a blessing to someone. Amen. Be a blessing to someone today. Yeah. Make me a blessing. Oh, Savior, Savior, I pray. Ooh, make me a blessing to someone today. All of my listeners out there, today is 3 days before my husband and I got married. 60 years ago, in 3 more days, we would have been married for 60 years. Thank you for listening at this show today. It's bringing back many, many memories. He's gone on to be with the Lord, but we're still here celebrating my husband's life here on earth with us. He was one of the greatest musicians that ever lived. His trombone still sits here with me, right here in my living room, as I play on my piano. Yeah, here it is, Roy Johnson.
Right.
This is one of his trombone, the first ones that he ever had. Amen. I love it. Yeah.
Right.
Whoa, make me a blessing. Oh, Savior, Savior, I pray. Yeah. Make me a blessing. Someone, thank you for listening. Help me to celebrate 60 years. Thank you now. Bye-bye. Love you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you to our
Make
listeners.
me a blessing.
Sharing all of your comments, engaging in our show. We thank you, and we'll see you next Wednesday at 7 p.m. on Smart Black Woman TV. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
We're shining bright, and we're shining the light on us like no other. Neighborhood Planet, our neighborhood, our world. Programs like this are made possible by Neighborhood Planet Broadcasting Systems, Neighborhood Planet Network, iLister Digital Media Creative, and from contributions to NPN TV from viewers like you. Thank you.